And describe it to your best ability to me. Where do you end up? What's going on?
Hey man, I'm a kid again. And I'm riding these sky buckets up to the top of Maggie Valley in North Carolina. And me and my brother and my grandparents are there. And it was that time when my grandfather, I remember him feeling the best physically. And he was so happy, and he could do and walk around. And they took us to this place, and it was like an old west city. And we got to walk around with them and ride the rides and eat good food, and it was just so fun. It was a whole big show. And we got to go there for the night, for a whole day, and it was just amazing.
That's a really beautiful memory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how old you were?
We're probably like 8.
Okay. What about your brother? Was he younger or older than you?
Younger.
Do you remember his age?
Mm-hmm. 6.
Okay, good. So besides you and your brother and your grandparents, was there anyone else there with you that you remember?
No, just the people that were there.
Okay. You mentioned eating really good food. Do you remember what it was?
Just all the good snacks and funnel cakes and fun things that you eat at a carnival.
Yeah. Good job. So let's go ahead and close this scene. We're going to visit another childhood memory that you hold dear to your heart in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Where are you now?
Family reunions.
Is there anyone else there with you?
Oh yeah, everyone. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, cousins, aunts, and uncles.
What is the location of this reunion?
Rome, Georgia.
Okay. And how old are you in this memory?
8, 9.
Okay. What's so significant about this reunion? What happens here?
It's fun. We get the kids get to run around and do what we want to, and play with the other kids and hang out with them. And there's no work. There's no schoolwork. There's no rules really. It's just free and fun.
Yeah.
There's great food and laughter, and everybody's happy and thankful to be there. And just I really enjoy listening to like the elder women and the elder men like talk and speak, and just listening to them.
What's your favorite thing to hear from them when they talk?
Just stories.
Their own life stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I feel like you can learn a lot about someone in a story.
Absolutely. So I want you to thank everyone for showing up in these memories today. We're going to go ahead and close that scene. We're going to go back to the mother's womb. Your mother's womb in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In your mother's womb, how are you feeling right now?
Excited yet I know what's in front of me. I know that this is another journey that's not necessarily easy. That there's work to be done.
What else are you feeling? Do you hear any voices or any noises?
I think there's a female voice. I think it's my sister that I never had.
Can you tell what's What's being said?
You got this.
Is she just there to help comfort you?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Tell me I can do it.
Mm-hmm. You are doing it. Anything else that you're feeling?
I miss her.
Send her some love. Just remember the feeling of the connection there. And also, send some love to your mother. Close this scene. We're going to travel back to another lifetime, another significant lifetime. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Trust your first impression. What do you see? Where are you?
I'm a Sasquatch in the woods.
Good job. Tell me about your experience. What does it feel like to be in the Sasquatch body?
Free. There's no religion, no laws, only universal law.
Mm-hmm.
And we take care of the forest, and it takes care of us.
How many are there?
And family is very important.
Yes.
Every member of the family is very important, is a crucial member that we all must take care of and honor. You know, the old people don't go to homes. They sit at the head of the table when they speak, everyone listens.
I love that. What else can you tell me about that experience? What is your role in that lifetime?
Caretaker.
And who do you take care of?
I take care of the animals. And the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And the rivers.
How do you take care of them?
You love them. You talk to them. You speak positively to them. And you're all one with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they love you. And they can talk to me and I can talk to them.
It's a universal understanding.
Mm-hmm. But more than that, they can literally talk. And I can talk to them and they can talk to me.
That's amazing.
It's more than telepathy.
So
You
tell
only
me.
need to listen.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about your family. Do you have siblings, or how are the family dynamics set up as a Sasquatch?
Yes, it's very tight-knit, very close family. It's very important. My job is to go out every day and pick berries and gather food and bring it back. Like I said, take care of the rivers and the animals, and you still do your own energy work every day. The Sasquatch sits in the woods quietly still. And just like we have in our text, be still and know that I'm God. The Sasquatch sits still, so still. that it becomes one with all that there is, and there is no separation. But we love our family and we take care of them. We take care of our mother and our father. We have ceremonies. And we have ceremony when they pass.
Can you describe those to me, the ceremonies? What are they like?
It's much like paganism today, where we have something of the earth, something of the water and the air, and we put our feet in the dirt. We pray, but we don't pray for things. We create the things that we want. Or if it's raining, or if it's the fire, and we need water, we don't ask Mother Nature for water. We dig our toes into the earth, and we feel the coldness of the air when the clouds come, and we see the clouds, and we feel the rain fall on our face, and our feet in the mud, as if the rain is already here, it's already happened. And we're thankful for it. And we know it already is here, and so it is. That we don't pray for things and ask for things. We create them, and when we do it together, we create much more than we could by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Sasquatch people are always together. They're always a family, and they're always looking after one another. Each individual is dire to the tribe.
Are there names used, like in human lifetime, how we give our offspring names?
Do the Sasquatch have names?
Mm-hmm. Do they call you something?
Yeah.
What do they call you? First impression.
Cija.
Good job. So besides collecting berries and communicating with the animals and the water and the trees and nature, what else was the purpose of this lifetime that you're visiting now? Being still. What else?
I feel that, and as I say this, I feel this stone getting incredibly heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The burden of being caught by humans. They caught me because I was trying to figure out what they were doing. Because they were cutting down trees. And they were destroying things to make their little lands and their little forts while they set up shop, and they caught me. And I feel guilty.
Why do you feel guilty?
Because I let them down. I let the animals down. I let the river down. Because I wasn't there to protect them and to caretake them and watch over them.
That's a heavy burden to carry all by yourself. Are you able to release that a bit? Understand it was a community thing. Good.
Yeah.
So what happens next? What happens when the humans catch you? What do they do?
They poke me with needles. And they keep me in a cage. And I hate shots. And I never get shots or anything. And I'm realizing that's why right now.
Mm-hmm. Making a connection.
I never wanted to get a shot or anything. And I was afraid of needles. I've never even gotten a tattoo. Because I was afraid to be poked with needles.
I understand that now.
Because they poked me and they took my blood.
Were they scared of you?
They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what I am. They don't see my beauty. They just see me as a physical thing to take from. They don't know my purpose.
Are you able to communicate with them telepathically, or how you did with nature?
No, they're shut off.
Of course. So
They see the world as a physical thing that you can take from and use, and resources. They don't see the energy in the mother that the planet's alive.
Mm-hmm. So after they take your blood and examine and try to figure out who you are, what happens next? Do you allow that to play out? Do they release you?
No.
What happens with that?
They kill me.
And go ahead and take your last breath in. And release, allowing the soul to leave the body safely, without pain. Where do you go next? Where are you now?
I'm a shaman.
Where at? What does your landscape look like?
It looks like Aztec. Native American.
Okay. Get a sense of being male or female shaman?
Male.
Okay. And how old are you in this scene that you're visiting?
25.
Okay, good job. Do you have a family? Would you describe your family to me?
I'm like the chief. And I have several wives and many kids. Boys and girls.
Are you happy?
Yes, but I feel that burden of responsibility to take care of everyone, make sure everyone's safe.
Of course.
Not just my family, but the whole tribe.
That is very heavy. What do they call you? First impression.
Chief Joseph.
Good job. So being a shaman, what is your specialty? Do you heal everything, or what do you do? A typical day.
I feel like I commune with the spirits, the trees, our ancestors, star people, F ceremonies, plant medicines. We try to invoke the entities and spirits all around us to commune with us through ceremonies, fire dancing, plant ceremonies, so that we can grow and understand, know that the spirit world is not something that we can engage with, that it is something that we do engage with every day, we just don't see it. But during our ceremonies we realize how real it is and how it's always right there.
Yeah. You mentioned having many wives. Is this with all the tribes people, or is it just you in general?
Some tribe members do have multiple wives.
Okay.
But it's usually like the powerful warriors and maybe what we would consider like the popular, well-known, that have good skills, hunting skills.
So plant medicine. Did you go out and forage your own plants to help with the healing? And how did that work? Or did you have someone else in the tribe?
No, we took care of the plants, and the plants took care of us. And peyote was one of the things, and cacti, I can see them, that we used a lot.
How were
to
these
take
used?
us in the spirit world.
Of course. Of course. Anything else you remember about that time frame of your lifespan? How'd you become a shaman?
It felt like it was someone that you get picked, that you have to come down from some like family lineage, but then there's a picking based on trials and challenges that you have to do and endure, like and that's kind of like obstacles one must go through to get it to be worthy. And not just physical things, but mental questions and things that elders ask you. It's very important that the elders acknowledge your hierarchy.
That's good. Let's go ahead and close this scene. We're going to fast forward a little bit to another significant event in the same lifetime we're visiting now in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at an event. What is this? What's going on?
I feel like I'm Geronimo in that I'm running from the white men. They're trying to get me.
Keep describing your experience.
They want to kill me.
Is this a different lifetime or the same lifetime?
No,
as
I'm
last
different.
time?
I'm
Okay.
still Native American,
Okay.
but it's more now.
Okay.
It's closer to 1900, 1875 or something like in the late 1800s,
Okay.
early 1900s. The other one was hundreds of years ago, more it seems. But I feel like the white people are chasing me. They want to kill me. I represent savagery to them. I represent someone who hasn't bought into their laws and their rules and their lifestyle, and they want to kill anybody who doesn't blindly accept their laws and their rules.
Oh, of course. It seems to be a pattern. So in the lifetime as Geronimo, running from the white man, what age do you feel this memory?
I'm older. I'm like 40.
Okay. What happens with that? Would you let that play out and describe what happens?
I fought them my whole life. I fought them my whole life. They tried to get me. I always got away. They caught me and I got away. They put me in cages and I got away. But they never could contain me. I was always too smart, too good to get away. And I do believe that I see the story of what people call Geronimo, why they use the word. They were chasing me, and I jumped off a cliff into the horse and rode off, and they couldn't believe that I did it.
How did you feel when that happened?
I got away again. I got away. They couldn't catch me.
Was it a sense of laughter and joy that each escape?
I escaped. Yeah, they couldn't get me.
Did you have a family?
I did, yeah.
Would you describe that to me?
I had multiple wives and kids again.
Okay.
And I love them all, and they're all beautiful, but I don't feel like I gave them the time that I need to. I was always fighting the white man.
Able to keep your family safe, though,
Yeah,
doing that.
but I just don't feel like I gave them that love and attention that they all deserve because I was off doing that. But I did eventually give myself up. I ended up surrendering to them. And I know that it was wrong. And I feel guilty. I feel like I shouldn't have done it. I feel like I should have fought them to the end. I let them catch me again.
You carry a lot of guilt. Are you able to release some of that? Or all of it?
Yeah.
Good. Good. So let's visit your last day in that lifetime then. Describe what it is that happens. What ultimately takes your life?
What?
What are they, when you give yourself up, how does that end?
I think they promised things that they didn't give. As they always do. They just lie. They promised freedom for the people, their land, and they lied. And I gave myself up for nothing.
What else are you remembering?
I just done fighting them.
Tired?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
No. But I feel like there's got to be a better way.
Do you discover that?
Yeah.
Describe that for me.
I can't fight them anymore. I just continue fighting. But how? My question is, how do I get them to understand that the earth is a living being? What they do hurts the earth, that we're all one. How do I step away from the fighting to help them realize that? Can I help them realize it? I want to step out of the matrix of the fighting and the war, and I just want to be peaceful. I want to be loving. I want to show them a different way by being the exact change I want to see in the world.
So let's visit the last day in that life. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last day. What's going on? What's happening?
Sad. Bitter. A bit angry. How could it end like this? Why do I feel trapped again? Caught again by these demons. I just don't know who they are.
How old are you in this memory?
I'm an old man.
Do you know this is your last day? What happens?
They had to kill me.
Go ahead and take your last breath in for that life. And release. Allow your soul to leave the body safely. Where do you go from there? What happens next?
being in Atlantis.
Describe that for me.
Like a scientist. Someone always doing experiments and learning the laws of the universe, and that they exist everywhere, any country, every world, that there are similar laws that happen no matter where you go. The law of attraction, what you put out is what you get back. Everything has duality, everything has gender to it. That when you put out love, you get love back.
Mm-hmm.
When you put out anger and frustration, you get that back. It's just always asking questions and reading books and just being overwhelmed with joy that the world is this incredible place with free energies. It's clean, it's renewable. There's no war. And people are happy and they love to be with each other and eat with each other and learn from each other. There's telepathy and just beauty. We don't have to cut down the trees. We're able to move things with our mind, move civilizations, move buildings. Technology is incredibly high. Spirit is incredibly high.
So as a scientist on Atlantis, what gender did you end up in?
Female.
Okay. What do they call you?
Araya.
That's very beautiful. Isn't that what you're going to name your daughter?
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
It's pretty cool.
What else can you tell me about that life? Do you have a family?
No. I was just too into all the things to be in a relationship.
And how'd you feel about that?
Okay.
Good.
But a little bit lonely from it, but I really did immerse myself in the work. I felt like I knew that I had to do this work. It was almost like a relationship in itself. Like I had more awareness that this life was temporary, that I had more awareness of what the mission was in the life. It was to learn all these new things and gather up new information. Like I was much more like a younger soul, and I had to learn a lot more stuff, gather up more things.
Sounds so wonderful.
Different than now.
Yes.
It seems like now you remember all the things. Like I'm not learning new things. I remember the stuff I've already figured out.
Of course.
That was a life where I was learning the new things.
You can tap into that information at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You've always access to that. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit to another event in that lifetime in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What's going on now?
I found some things I didn't necessarily realize that I was looking for, but once I did, I realized I was looking for it. I realized that the end was coming to that life, this situation, that age, that this was something that happened before, and it's something that will happen again and again and again. I figured it out, and I started to tell people what was going to happen, and they didn't want to believe me. But I knew that the world was going to stop spinning, that it would start spinning the other way, but in the process of when it stopped spinning, all the water that bulges at the equator would be divided out over all of the land quickly and flood Atlantis and all the other Lemuria and High Brazil and these incredible countries and lands of high technology and ways of being.
You were able to visit and experience all that when it happened?
Yeah, I was collecting information to find. I feel like I was always looking for something, and that was what I was looking for.
Mm.
And then when I went to tell people, they didn't want to hear it. They just thought everything was good and perfect, and it was always going to be that way.
So how long until it actually happened?
It wasn't long.
Was it quick?
Yeah. And few saw any signs at all. Just living it like every day was every other day. And didn't see the signs. And then all of a sudden that day, when the world stops spinning, the volcanoes go off, crazy things happen. One side of the planet gets light, and one side of the planet gets darkness. And then everybody starts to question and wonder what's going on. The water comes quick, and then there's devastation and screaming, and it's the death. But we must realize it gives the birth to new ways of being, new learning.
Yes. Were there any survivors?
Yeah. Some people knew it was coming.
What about you?
Most people didn't.
Did you survive?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
The only people that would believe me when I talked to them were some of the elders. And they would calmly tell me that they already knew, and I was hard for me to even understand how they could know these things and be so calm, because for me it freaked me out a little bit because it was uncertain. I didn't know what to do about it. Just knowing about it really wasn't enough, but having my faith and telling others helped me, because I told the elders and they said, we know. And they said they had a way out and that I could join them. So I got to go with them when everything came, and we got in these little boats. Not like flying machine boats, almost. Like almost something you would see on television or Star Wars or something.
Like a higher technology.
Higher technology, yeah, with like not even wings that you would think would make it fly, but it could fly. You go underwater, spaceships, you could see through them. And we were able to survive the cataclysm and start new worlds, start new civilizations. And they were able to teach me how to do things like build those civilizations and move rocks with your mind, and how we could create temples that will create free energy and give it to our people.
That's wonderful. So where do you end up going then if you go to different civilizations? Did you go on your own or did others go with you?
Different people went to different places. They planned it out, the elders. They planned it out, and certain people went to certain places in little groups to split up, to start new worlds. What we call the pyramids of Egypt and the pyramids of Mexico and Yucatan and Peru. And they started after. That's why their technology is so high. Not as high as Atlantis, but a step down.
Did you ever end up having a family?
No. Went back to work. Too much work to be done.
So what age did you live to be before the end of that life?
I was old. I was an old woman. I got to be an elder myself. I feel like I was 300 years old.
Good.
Like a grandmother elder.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a time when people would sit around and listen to the grandmothers and grandfathers talk around the fire and listen to their stories and what had happened and what will happen again if we had to be watchful and watch the skies and the stars, because they would always come back again and we had to be ready. And they listened, and they knew that that storytelling was something to pass down. It was knowledge, it was wisdom and information. Mm-hmm. And it was more important than gold or money or anything. Wisdom and knowledge to pass it down to the tribes and your family. It was something sacred, something honorable. You had to take it and keep it, not give it to anybody, only those that deserved it.
That's wonderful to hear that. Anything else you want to visit in that lifetime?
I just felt like when I went back there in this life, I was getting a part of that. I felt that energy and that resonance of those past lives when I was there. And I was able to get that story. And I was able to download it. That story that was there.
It's very beautiful.
That sacred story. Yeah.
You're telling the story in this lifetime too. It's wonderful. So let's go ahead and close that scene. We're going to call the higher self forward to answer some questions. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Thank you. The first question I'd like to ask the higher self is, Jacob mentions that he has pain in the heart. Can you describe what's going on there and what needs to happen to heal that?
I feel too guilty. It weighs you down. And although you love taking care of people, you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Not feel guilty. You can't save everyone.
Exactly.
You can't help everyone.
to release some guilt today.
Yeah.
Can you help release more of that as time goes on?
Absolutely.
To remind him internally? Good.
Absolutely.
Is his heart going to be safe?
Yes.
Good. Thank you for that answer. He also wanted to know if you had any information about his daughter that's about to come forward. Any wisdom that you can share about that?
That's my sister.
Of course it is.
That was my older sister that didn't make it. That's my twin.
It's beautiful. Reconnecting again, playing a different role.
Yeah.
You probably already knew this, though.
I did.
Does the higher self have any other messages that'll benefit Jacob going from this day forward?
You're doing amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing all those lives in this life now.
Yes.
The caretaker, chief, the lover, the scientist,
The shaman.
the shaman. And they're all in the one in you now.
Of course.
You know that you're all these things and everything that there is. Take that. Be your best. And go give it to the world.
It's beautiful. Is there anything else?
Forgive yourself.
Can you assist with that?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there anything else that he needs to know?
Not at this time.
Is there any messages for me?
You're doing your highest work. And your angels and your spirit guides are rejoicing. You're righting the wrongs of the family lineage. The things that have held you and your family down. And working all those things out in a beautiful way. And writing a new story. To be proud of.
I'm very proud. Thank you for that. Appreciate that so much. Is there anything else that we need to know before we close the session?
You're all one.
Yes. Are we complete?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the higher self to step forward to answer some very important questions. Really express our gratitude for that. I call Jacob back and we're going to come back into our current reality in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Readjusting to the room, remembering where you're at. And when you're ready, just allowing your eyes to open and adjust to the lighting of the room. Feeling safe and comfortable.
I think I cried all over your pillow over here.
That's okay. I wash them every time I use it. They get used.
Oh man.
Get to release a lot of guilt that you've been carrying for lifetimes.
I think that's the word I've been searching for because I didn't know what it was. The whole Geronimo I've known for years. The Sasquatch thing I've known for years.
Jeff.
But it wasn't till probably just a month ago that I felt the same feelings as Geronimo and Sasquatch, and feeling like they caught me, and that was like a vision of like they got me again, you know, like. And I guess I did say the word guilt, but back then, but it just really hits home now that this guilty feeling plays out in all these lifetimes. You know, and to let it go, like it's okay. It's just a journey. It's just it's just an experience, and I'm like really attached to it, you know, because I want to do so well. I want to be so good. When I told you that thing was getting heavy, it was like so heavy in my hand all of a sudden, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I was like anchored to the ground or something. But I really started to get it. And there was something else I said in there that I said I just now got, that I really clicked. I can't even remember what it was. I have to go back and listen to that recording. But there's a couple of things in there that really made sense.
Everything made sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Well, yeah. Yeah, everything did make sense. And then just, you know, like, all, like, centered in and, like, just, like, you could see all of them down through one straight shot.
Recognize patterns going on lifetime after lifetime as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I record these, because you may not remember every detail in your waking moment, but going back and listening, it's gonna also, what you've said on here, you've experienced more than what was said, and those memories are gonna come back when you listen to it again. It's going to make more sense to you. You'll be able to put more pieces together. And you might even have new memories of those lifetimes come forward as well. That helps everything come to full circle and make sense for you.
Yeah, it's funny about the whole like caretaker theme. Like I feel like I've been a caretaker so many times. Man and woman. Caretakers. The Sasquatch is a caretaker. And that I've just been taking care of people my whole life, serving people all these lives, you know. And I guess, like I said, part of that guilt is now I've been able to do it, and then overlooking my own family because I'm trying to fight these people who are, you know, destroying the planet. And I feel like that's where it made sense to stop fighting them. And how could I how could I be better? How could I do a better job? By almost like, I don't want to say becoming friends with them, but almost like becoming friends with them, like making peace instead of enemies, you know, making friends instead of enemies. That's crazy. We didn't even go back to Judas. I thought I was Judas in the past life too. The one that kills himself.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I felt like I have been Judas, and I've had a lot of things come from that too. I told Cassandra that one time we were at Estes Park, and then we were sitting in this like cafe with this library, and there was just this book just like staring at us, and it was the Gospel of Judas. And so we picked it up and started reading it, and one of the very first thing it said is that Judas was a descendant of Jacob, and I was just like, oh my goodness, right?
There's no accidents ever. That's amazing.
I felt like I knew Christ personally, and I had all these things, and it took a while for it to come out to be Judas, but I think that's what it was saying. And I had like these experiences where I was in a room with him by myself, and it says in the Gospel of Jesus that happened a lot, and that he would tell them things that, you know, like the secret parables, like he told to the people out in the streets, but he told his true disciples behind closed doors the meaning of those parables. And I've had experiences now where I felt like Christ walked up behind me, like tapped me on the shoulder. It was like whispered in my ear, and I knew like a whole parable, and like a download in like 1 second. I knew what the prodigal son parable was, or, you know, this parable or whatever, like he told me in closed doors. And like, but like I said, to now it's like remembering stuff, you know, like you're remembering, oh, this happened, or this information. I feel like back in the past, so I felt like I was learning lots of new things, and now I feel like I just remember it much. Yeah,
absolutely. It's awesome. I'm gonna stop
this thing feels hot.
Recording.